Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Let me get this live stream ready for you folks. This is James Cardanian Bond filling in for Juan Julio Martinez. Mr. Martinez, oh, ding in. There we go. Like I said, this is James Cardanian Bond filling in for Juan Julio Martinez. Mr. Martinez went on a 2 week, 2 to 3 weeks excursion to the Himalayas. It was on his bucket list to do. He had an opportunity to do that. So I am filling in. Telemundo here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, flew me in just for this live stream. Hopefully, we'll get Brevis on. He said he would like to be here. We sent him a message, and hopefully, he will be here. I'm going to wait a little bit, and we'll see if he gets here, and we'll go from there. But I'll just get everything going here. Let's see. And see what happens. A couple other people are having live streams today, but hopefully we'll get a little bit of a crowd going. And whether there's much of a crowd or not, it doesn't matter. If we can get Brevis on here, or if not, I'll just go ahead and do the live stream myself, and you guys catch this on the rewind. So we'll wait a little bit. Hopefully everybody's doing well and having a happy New Year. This is the show to come to if you want to get an update on Burrito Mike or other or other YouTubers or trolls in the dread of the Filipino YouTube community genre with the R-E, not D-R-E. Okay, guys? But anyway, hey, this is where you can get some information here. And for all of you guys, whether I'll take a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to give me, that's fine with me. There's somebody watching here. Can you tell me in the chat room if you can hear me? I can pretty much see that, yes, the voice is good. Hang it. I can just switch over here. Yeah, I'm good. Anybody that wants to come on, you're more than welcome to. StreamYards here. This is a free speech community. I may or may not let you on, but I'll have to check you out, see who you are in the background, sitting backstage there. But hopefully, Brevis, let's see if we can get him to come on, if he's available. We'll wait a little bit. It's a good update. There's some stuff going on here. Some good updates about Burrito Mike. He's in Michigan, as you guys know, so we want to make sure that the community knows how he's doing. Hey, dirty white boy, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Hopefully we'll get a few more people. And again, this live stream or this channel is basically here to help out certain people get their lives back on track. Here at Telemundo, we are here to help. We want to bring information to you're in Manila. Oh, we want to bring information to the local Philippine community about some of our Philippine, how should I say, channels. Some of the guys that are in here in the Philippine genre. And we want to just kind of basically bring an update about how they're doing in life. That's, we're here to help people, not to hurt people or to do anything like that. We are here to help people, especially those that are young and dumb, basically. Well, I'll wait a few more minutes and then I'll go ahead and get started. It's been 5 minutes. We'll wait another 5. And then we've got some juicy stuff to talk about. And then we'll, I think before we get into Burrito Mike, we'll talk a little bit about Frank Battaglia. Frank, I hope you're listening to this. I think he's got a live stream going on right now, but hopefully his live stream will come to an end. Somebody, I'm sure, in his live stream will tell him. Frank, if you want to come on this live stream and talk a little bit about some of the comments you made about Burrito Mike, you're more than welcome to. This is a free speech community here. Following the YouTube PI drama just for the laughs. Yes, this is all just for laughs, guys. This is for entertainment purposes only. So if you're a thin-skinned little bitch, get the hell out of my live stream. But again, if you're not thin-skinned, you got thick skin, then you can stay, hang out. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. All right? Don't be a thin-skinned little bitch. If you are, get the fuck out of here. Okay, yes, we will. Request. We've sent a friend's request. My wife may already be friends with her. Friends with her on her FB. But I'm not sure. Thanks for having us. Okay, hang on. I just got a text here from somebody else. All right, guys, let me get back to this. Okay, well, whenever Brevis gets here, then we'll. Okay, somebody sent us a friend's request on Facebook. We were at a party, birthday party this past Sunday. We had a great time. Met a bunch of new people. And it's the kind of crowd that I like to be in, that I like to associate with. They were great. They just sent us a friend's request on Facebook. The guy that threw the party, his wife is really nice, and she connected really well with my wife. So anyway, all right, let's move on. Dirty White Boy says, still working for Heidel to drop a video. Oh yeah, you're working with Heidel? Heidel's funnier than shit. I'm not sure who Heidel is, but he's pretty funny. But okay, let's get started. Now look, let's first talk a little bit about, before we get to Burrito Mike, we'll talk a little bit about Frank. We'll give Frank a little shout out. Frank the chair. Frank Battaglia. I saw a video that was a little bit disturbing. Frank was oogling a barista girl at a Santa Fe festival. Now, Brevis did mention in the past that Frank was oogling, but a lot of people didn't believe that. Frank denied it, but I think that right there kind of tells you about Frank. He was oogling. It's okay to oogle, all right? I mean, you could, if you want to oogle, Frank, it's cool, man. We're with you on that, bro. Do a little oogling and stuff. But if you start throwing money around, free money, then it's kind of like you're soliciting. So it's you probably don't want to throw money at them, all right? Because you like soliciting. Just oogle. Oogle's okay. But other than that, don't throw money, man. You're soliciting, dude. You might get in trouble and stuff. But little oogling, it's okay, Frank. Just hey, just be cool and don't let Gilda see that. You don't want to do that. Now, so we got past that. Now we noticed here. I noticed. I myself, James Cardanian Bond, and you guys can call me Jimmy. Just call me Jimmy. That MJ is really still trying hard to get on Frank's good side, and I just don't quite understand. I mean, Frank really went after him, called him a few derogatory names. I'm like, whoa. So I'm not sure, what MJ's motive are or Burrito Mike's motives are. And again, for those of you guys that are new to this channel, that are new to the genre, and that's with an RE. You may not know who Burrito Mike is. Burrito Mike is AKA Mexican Jew, AKA MJ the Flipper. And again, we're giving him a shout out, and so he's getting subs. Just like we did a past live stream on Nico's experience. Man, since we did that video on Nico's experience, and it's called Who is Nico's Experience, he picked up about 80 subscribers. So again, Nico, he didn't send me a thank you or anything like that. Again, that's okay, but he should have at least sent me a thank you note or something like that to my email address, but he didn't. But maybe he's not aware of it. So again, the comments that Frank made towards MJ the Flipper, I think, what did he call him, a wetback or something like that? Derogatory statements towards a Spanish American gentleman. Oh, I should say, yeah, a gentleman. I guess you could call him a gentleman. Frank, that wasn't cool, brother. I mean, hey, the definition of a wetback is somebody that actually migrates from Mexico to the United States, that swims across the Rio Grande, And MJ was born in the United States, according to what we see here at Telemundo. And he was born in the U.S. I mean, he's just like a suburban kid. He doesn't even speak Spanish. So how can you give him that? How can you make a statement like that? But it's not cool. All right. So Frank, does MJ deserve an apology from Frank? It's up to Frank. We here at Telemundo, or actually, I'm just filling in for Juan Julio Martinez. As I mentioned earlier, he's on a 2-week excursion. Hiking the Himalayas, that's on his bucket list to do. We like free speech here, but again, sometimes when it's way over the top, we will say something about it. Now, racist remarks are not allowed here on this channel, but sometimes, again, if there's somebody on a guest on the panel, he may not be able to help himself, and if he, says something that's derogatory, and we can't catch it, then it happens. Don't get all bent out of shape. Yes, wetback is not a nice thing to say. Frank has a fantasy of doing a handicapped girl. I don't know. I don't know about what happened with Nika and all that, but it seems to be there's a couple of vloggers that went after Nika trying to get some, and we're not going to mention any names here, all right? But Frank, if you're listening to this, and you want to come on the panel and just, basically stand up for yourself on these allegations here that this channel from All Up in the Geek Show, they were talking about that. I actually did watch the last live stream. And they did a good live stream. They did, as usual, they always mention my name. Frank, if you want to come out here on this platform and basically do a little rebuttal to them guys, you're more than welcome to. Here we're not here to stifle anything, block anybody. You can come out here and just say whatever you want. It's cool, man. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. Frank, the one thing we did notice, though, Frank, you are buying subs. And, again, why would you want to buy subs? Because we know very well, I think we saw that your channel's up around 4,000 subscribers. You know damn well you don't have 4,000 subscribers. If you're lucky if you got 500, 600 subscribers, but it's not 4,000. Why would you waste your money on buying subscribers? Can you get back to us on that, Frank? If you're here and you're listening to this and you want to let us, come on, please do. But maybe on the next live stream, if you want to come on and kind of let us know why you're buying subscribers. Would really appreciate it. But other than that, Frank, just chill out, man. Just do you what you're gonna do. Do you do? Uh, but Frank, just let it all go. I saw that you patched up with Michael Fazio, which is a good thing because both of you guys are wasting your money there, and just patch it up with Barry, man. Leave Barry alone. Barry, yeah, again, Barry's trying to make some money to survive, but just leave him alone, man. Let's move on with your life, man. You got Gilda, you got the kids. Move on with your life, brother. Dirty White Boy says, I wonder how much Frank paid for the subs. I think you can pick up. Somebody was telling me $5 for 1,000 subscribers, some shit like that. But I think eventually YouTube will catch you. And if they do, they'll just shut down your channel. It's not even worth buying subs. And I can tell the guys that buy subs. There's another clown that bought a bunch of subs, but he can't even do 100 or he can't even do 50. On an average, he does 50 or 60 views for a video he puts up. Even on shorts, he can't even do any views, and he's got 9,000 subscribers. He knows who he is. So again, if you gotta buy subscribers, you're a fucking loser. Plain and simple. All right, so Frank, get back to us, all right, brother. Now let's move on to the next guy, and then what we'll do is we'll do a couple of shout outs here real quick to a couple of guys, and then we'll talk about the flip Burrito Mike at the very end of this live stream. All right. The next guy we want to talk about is All Up in the Geek Show, Roberto. Now, in the past, James Cardanian Bond used to call Roberto Fat Berto. I cannot do that any longer. He is skinny now. He got the he got some kind of what do they call it? They call out his stomach, some kind of bypass, whatever the hell it's called. They cut some part of his stomach out and stuff, so he eats a lot less. He's skinny now. So from now on, Roberto, I'm going to call you Skinny Berto, okay? And because you're skinny now. You're half the man that you used to be. Now, what's interesting here is that somebody gave him a question. I think it was Pupai said to Roberto, he was talking about, asked Roberto if he knew what yellow fever meant. And again, Roberto didn't know what yellow fever meant. And it's a derogatory statement that people make towards the Asian community. They call them yellow, just like the Hispanic community called them brown. But Roberto did not know that Asians are called yellow. So that was kind of odd. Now, what I would suggest, and again, these are for people that don't really come to the Philippines, even though now Roberto may or may not be a dual citizen. He may have Filipino citizenship, but I'm starting to believe that he doesn't. He rarely ever comes to the Philippines. Now, he's definitely got his American citizenship, and that's for sure, okay, because he's been in the States for a long time. But I think what they should do, especially if you're considered dual citizens, and especially if you're a half-breed, you're not full Filipino, and they should give you a test, a written test, when you come at the airport, whether it's Manila or Cebu, to be able to get into the Philippines. They should give you a test. It's a test upon entry at the airport, whether they should let you in or not. Because if you don't know anything about the culture here, and you're a Filipino, then you really should not be allowed in the country. You really should. Now, look, us as American citizens, foreign passports, we don't really need to know the culture. We do to a certain point, but we don't have to be well versed in the culture because we might only be coming in for a vacation because most people just come here for tourism, and the ones that come here to live here on a long-term basis will eventually learn the culture because they're here day in and day out. Okay, they're not just coming here for a few days or a couple of weeks, whatever, and then go back home. So for somebody like Roberto or even Aloe, I mean, Aloe's a half-breed, Alan Fry. Yeah, Alan Fry, a.k.a. Aloe the Winter. He's a half-breed, but again, from his knowledge of the Philippines, when he comes out here, it looks like he comes out here for 3-4 months at a time. He knows a lot about the Philippine culture. probably done some business here. I think he might even have a business background. So he seems like he's on the ball. For a guy like that, yeah, he'll probably have to take the test also. You can't just segregate people and say only certain half breeds will have to take the test, and other half breed Filipinos will not have to. Everybody's got to take the test, but you got to kind of make it easy. So I would suggest maybe if the Philippine government is going to do that, you need like a C to pass the test, like a 70% out of 100 to pass the test. And the type of questions that will be asked of you, basically, what's the language? So like, what's the language of the island of Luzon, or maybe some geographical questions like certain towns. Where's Angeles City located, or where's Davao City, on what island is Davao City located on, stuff like that. And if you can't pass the test, they should just put you back on the next plane back to your country of origin where you boarded on to come to the Philippines. Again, that's only for people that are Filipino, half Filipino, or even they'd have dual citizenship. Okay, and again, one of the factors may be they may look at your passport. Okay, even whether it's your Filipino passport or your U.S. passport, depending what you're using to get into the country. And if you haven't been in the Philippines for at least 2 years and you're a Filipino, you should take that test. Let me look back here. Dumb and Dumber, are you talking about me? Well, you got that skinny Burrito avatar, dirty white boy. It's not been proven that is Alo's real name. Yeah, you know what? There's people that are speculating that Alan Fry is Alo the Winter. There's a lot of evidence out there that it may be him, but we're just going under the assumption that it's him. Okay? So anyway, so again, I think it should be mandatory that Filipinos, especially of mixed origin, that are not 100% Filipinos and then haven't been in the country for at least 2 years, have to take that test at the airport. Again, that's just a suggestion that here at Telemundo, James Cardanian Bond would suggest to the immigration office there in Manila, or to the Philippine government. All right. Now, that's probably pretty much it. Oh, yeah, and one other thing that we noticed about Mr. Skinny Berto, a.k.a. All Up in the Geek Show, that he's a racist. He hates white people. And he even mentioned that on his live stream, the last live stream, and even Popeye kind of confronted him about that. And he just hates white people. Now, I don't know if Mr. Roberto, Skinny Berto, I should say, had a bad experience when he was a child, when he came here. He was a foreigner, and maybe a bunch of white boys picked on him, because Skinny Berto probably came here in the 70s. Yeah, it was predominantly white back then. And maybe he got picked on when he was in grade school or something, and he just can't let it go. Who knows? Let me switch back. Dumb and Dumber. Fat Luther Vandross was a better version of the Skinny Luther. Damn. All right. Dirty white boy. You're funny. No. Look, dirty white boy. We're not trying to be funny here. We're just trying to be realistic about what some other channels are saying about others. And then they're being hypocritical about what they say about others. So you can't just say, hey, Frank Battaglia was a racist, when you yourself is coming out against racism with racist statements against other ethnic majorities, or actually minorities, because the white population now is a minority in the United States. So you can't do that. Don't be a hypocrite, okay? Own what you say. As a famous word from Alo the Winter, a.k.a. Alan Fry, you got to own what you say here, okay? So again, Roberto, please get back to us on this and tell us why you feel that you can call somebody else a racist, but you can't call yourself a racist. I mean, you can't admit that you're a racist, okay? All right. So that's a little bit about Skinny Berto. We'll move on to the last one before we get to Burrito Mike. And let's see if anybody's sitting backstage here. Nobody's backstage. Okay, no problem. And let's get to the Puerto Rican Playboy, aka Nico's Experience. Man, he's hitting it, or we think he's hitting it now. He's showing us a couple of street women that I guess he was at a taco stand eating a taco, and a couple of street women. He did mention that a couple of street women or women, they look kind of like street women. They bought him a meal, like they were picking him up, and they were buying him a meal. At least that's what I thought I heard. And hey, he's the Puerto Rican Playboy. I gotta give it to him though. He's always keeping an eye out for these girls that he can maybe hook up with and stuff. And look, dude, we're on your side. We got your back. Go out there and hit it as much as you can. Just hit it, quit it, do what you got to do, but get some, because you're doing a lot more, probably 90% more than what your compatriots are doing here. Now, we are proud of the Puerto Rican Playboy, aka Nico's Experience, aka Julio Rodriguez. We're proud of you, brother. Don't waste your time with these clowns. Get out there and get some, because when you get back to the U.S., you ain't getting none. But again, that's good. We're proud of you. We're behind you 100%. And get some. Now, look, it's okay to be oogling at a couple of street girls. Nothing wrong with that. Oogling is okay. Whether you're in the Philippines, whether you're in Colombia, oogling is okay in my book here with James Cardanian Bob. Okay? And again, guys, just call me Jimmy. All right. Dirty White Boy says, let's see. I like your sense of humor. Yeah, again, anybody listening to this is for entertainment purposes only. If you get offended or your skin's too thin and we're talking a little bit about you, or we're, giving you praise, then don't listen to the show. Get the fuck off. Go to another channel. Go to a good feel-good channel or some shit. But if again, if you got thin skin, then go to a channel like that. Feel good, whatever. But here, this is for entertainment purposes only. And so far, we've been pretty light on the guys here. Now, again, all up in the geek show, there was some racist statements there, man. I mean, you got to admit that. But anyway, that's it. See, we're going easy now. Now, let's go to the main topic of this live stream, and that's MJ the Flipper. AKA, well, yeah, it could be Burrito Mike, AKA Mexican Jew. But again, we're just going to go with Burrito Mike here. And boy, we got some good content on Burrito Mike. Now, we are happy that Burrito Mike, and we're going to move this down here, has moved out of his parents' house, at least for now. Okay? Now, this may not be it's a kind of a maybe part-time move. We don't know. He may stay, but he did move to Michigan, and he moved in with his brother. Now, if you guys look at the thumbnail, guys, the thumbnail of that we have on this live stream here, Burrito Mike is literally staying in his brother's basement, because that's a basement window there in the background. Let's see. Dirty White Boy says, are you friends with Rike? No, I'm not. Rike is kind of a different guy. I've met him a couple of times, just not somebody that I would hang out with. We really don't have much in common. We really don't. But again, it's cool. Rike's doing his thing, and I'm doing my thing. Let's see. So Burrito Mike, we are proud of you. You made the move to Michigan. You're stepping out of your comfort zone there. Move to Michigan to maybe start a new life with your spouse. Because for those of you guys that are new to the channel, they may not know what's going on here. Burrito Mike just got married. He got married maybe a month or two. I think it was about a month ago, November, maybe a couple of months back. He was on the download, though. He didn't want anybody to know where he was at. He was pretending he was in Dumaguete, but he was actually in Cavite area. He got married over there. But we're proud of you, brother. Let's see. Dirty White Boy says, MJ said he owns rental property in Michigan. Well, we're getting to that, Dirty White Boy. Well, we're getting to that. Trust me, we are. So again, we're happy for you. You got married before it's too late, because you're coming in on 40 years old, It's time for you to get married, brother. Uh, he came to the Philippines. I think somebody set him up with the with his wife Jane. It's like kind of one of these arranged marriages and shit. That's cool. It so far. I mean, again, he's only been married for a couple of months. I think he knew the girl for maybe a year or two, but he's only been actually physically with her for about 3 4 months. Hopefully things will work out. But again, you can never say that first year in a marriage is very important. And again, this is from someone that's been married twice and has experience in being married. The first year is very important, brother. So you make it through the first year, then you're kind of in. But then you got another hurdle to cross it, that 7 year itch. Once you cross that 7 year itch, then you're basically in your marriage. You most likely will make it. So you got the first year, and then you got the 7th year. And I'm giving you good advice now here, man, Burrito Mike. So hopefully you're listening to this. Dirty white boy. Okay, no, it's good. Hey guys, can you give me some more thumbs up? Any other? Please give me some more questions as we go on and through this little synopsis of what's going on with Burrito Mike. We're only here to help Burrito Mike. Okay, we're not here to hurt anybody. This is a channel that helps people, that brings out people's deficiencies in life, and hopefully Burrito Mike, or maybe Frank the Chair, or All Up in the Geek Show, Skinny Berto, will be able to have an opportunity to take advice from this channel. And if they don't, that's on them. If you're hard-headed, you're a knucklehead, and you doing your own thing, then it's on you. We don't really care, because it doesn't affect us here at Telemundo. Because I know Juan Julio Martinez, he don't give a fuck. If you got hit by a car tomorrow, or he would just move on with his life. There's no sweat off of his back. And here, me, James Cardanian Bond. Look, if one of you guys got hurt or something, I mean, I'm sensitive. I can feel you, man. I feel you. I'd be mourning a little bit about you guys for about 10 seconds. And then I just move on with my life, right? That's how things are in life. You got to be tough. You got to be tough as nails in life. All right? Don't be a follower. Be a fucking leader, man. Don't be a follower. A lot of followers in life. And there's a lot of guys out there that are straight up liberals, but they think they're conservatives. I mean, they're straight up liberals, acting like little bitches, like little liberals. Like flaming liberals. And they think they're conservatives. Stop. Please stop. You're making me laugh. And again, one thing I do want to mention for All Up in the Geek Show, I'm happy for you. I don't know if I mentioned this before. You said you were drinking cognac out of a glass. I understand maybe you don't have access to a snifter, but at least you put it in the glass. You didn't use a paper cup. Proud of you, brother. You're learning from me. Just keep listening to this shit, okay? You'll learn more. There's a lot more to learn from Mr. James Cardanian Bond. He's, going on 66 years old this year. He's experienced a lot, world traveler, been around, mostly rarely ever made mistakes, but nobody's 100%, that's for sure. But rarely ever makes a mistake. And the mistakes that he does make really does not affect his life. These are minor little mistakes. They're little setbacks, bumps on the road that have not affected his life whatsoever. Because keep in mind, guys, the mistakes that you make when you're young, depending on the size of this mistake, depending the how should I say, the severity of the mistake, may affect you when you get older. Keep that in mind. Dumb and Dumber says, you keep talking about me, and when I come to Dumagetti later this year, we're going to have a talk over coffee. No problem, Dumb and Dumber. Give me a call. Hopefully you're buying the coffee, but I know you got some money. So I'm sure you'll buy the coffee. Dumagetti's in Dumb and Dumber says, Dumagetti's in Mindanao. Am I right? Wait a minute. That is the real Up in the Geek. Is that all Up in the Geek Show with one of his troll accounts? Yeah, it's got to be. If Dumagetti's in Mindanao, that's got to be him. No. Dumagetti's on the island of Negros Oriental. Not Occidental, it's Negros Oriental. Now, Negros, the island of Negros is split up into two parts. Mostly the northern part is Negros Occidental, and from the mid to the southern part is Negros Oriental. Okay, it's not an even split down the middle of the island, but in case you didn't know that, Dumb and Dumber, now you do know. Okay, I understand that geography is not your forte, but we can help you out in that, and with that as well. Don't worry. Please follow us. I want you to subscribe right now for future updates of videos to come, and that will help you with your native country. All right. Let's move further down. Okay, so again, going back to Burrito Mike. Look, we're happy, like I said, that you're married and stuff. Now you came back to the U.S. and you're gonna bring your spouse to the U.S. I think you said you're gonna be using a K3 visa. You've got a friend that some lawyer friends giving you advice on the K3 visa. Jimmy Cardanian Bond would recommend that you don't do a K3 visa. Just go do a straight CR1 visa. Now, for those of you that don't know what a CR1 visa is, see, if you do a K3 visa, you're gonna pay about $265. You're still gonna go through a lot of the process that the CR1 visa is cost, but you're gonna get your spouse to the U.S. Okay, but here's the problem. She's not going to get a visa. It's not really a visa. It just helps you get your spouse to the U.S. quicker if you're married, but you're going to still have to apply for a CR1 visa. A CR1 visa is for those of you that will need a visa. If you've been married less than 2 years, you will need a visa that has an adjustment of status. It's only good for 2 years. Okay, now you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to apply for that visa, and it's another, I don't know, 700, whatever it is, or 500 or 700 more. So again, I would go directly to a CR1 visa, but you may not. The reason that Burrito Mike is not doing that, he may not qualify. So he's going to get her into the country, but she won't be able to get a Social Security card with a K3 visa. But again, he may not understand how this works. He can get her in the country, but she still needs to have a visa. So he's going to have to apply for that CR1 sooner or later. So you might as well go ahead and just do the CR1 right away. And again, the K3 visa and the CR1 visa take about the same time, especially under the Biden administration. You're better off going straight to the CR1 visa. You'll save some money. But I think Burrito Mike is doing that because he may not qualify right away for the CR1 visa. He may not qualify financially. That's the only thing I can think of. Again, we'll find out, or he will find out, as he goes through the visa process. Hey, Brevis, oh, you're backstage hanging. I'll let you on. Let me get a look. Yeah, there you are. Hey, can you show your face so I can let you on, Brevis? Show your face. Open up your camera so I know it's you, so that I can bring you on. Okay, there you go, brother. I'll bring you on. You have to be careful nowadays. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Sorry, I had to do had to make sure that you are who you are, because there's guys out here that want to sabotage my live streams, or they may want to. But hey, thanks for coming on. I'm just starting to talk about Burrito Mike here. We did talk about a few other guys, but we'll go back to that and see what your input on that. But we'll go further on with Burrito Mike. I just started on him to bring some our viewers a little bit of update on Burrito Mike. He is back in the States. He's living at his he moved to Michigan. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, he likes to live with family members. Spent 30-something years living with his parents, and now it looks like he's living with his brother. So I'm happy for him. He's a family man.
Yeah, he's a family man. Now, did you see my, what do you call it? Not the avatar, but the thumbnail that I put up of this live stream? He looks like he's in his brother's basement. Did you see that little window there? That's a basement. In Michigan, we have basements there. And if you looked at the thumbnail, he's in the basement. So he's probably sleeping in the basement. There may be a guest room down there in the basement, or he's sleeping on a couch in the basement. Who knows? Now, I personally, when I go to visit my brother in France, he would never put me in the basement. It would be on the main part of the house. Like, there's always a bedroom for me. That's kind of odd, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you're not paying rent, you got to get what you get. You're not, whatever they give you, you got to take. So, living rent free in your brother's basement, getting a sponsor for your beautiful wife, just a beautiful wife that he's got bringing over here. I'm happy for him. I think he's moving up in life. He's gone from his parents' spare bedroom to his brother's basement. What is he? He's a property landlord now, apparently.
Well, I don't want to be jumping subjects, but I'm coming to that in a little bit. But let's go through his K. He's talking about doing a K3 visa, which actually, it's really, nobody really uses that K3 anymore. They use the CR1. That's what I use, the I-130 CR1 visa, and that's what everybody uses, especially with the Biden administration. The visa process is a lot faster now. They basically let anybody in, okay? But he's going to use the K3. Now, with the K3, you don't need to show any kind of financial proof in the beginning. It will get her to America. But you're going to have to apply for that CR1 when she gets there, and that's when you'll show the financial. You're going to have to he's going to have to get a sponsor, but he doesn't think he does. And he says he doesn't need a sponsor, but he will. But he's not aware of what the next step is after he gets her there. But we'll let him find out, because you will need to get a sponsor, unless he's making $22K a year. Do you feel that he makes $22,000 a year from working?
I don't think he's made that a single year of his life. No, absolutely not. He's probably he did mention that he's got multiple new jobs, and I guess he said his new job, he's got great benefits at it. So yeah. I think he's probably just looking to pull a scam, like kind of, like he did before, work for a few months and, say he's got a sore back and, or one of his coworkers was mean to him and it's giving him anxiety, and now he's filing a workers' compensation claim and trying to go on.
Yeah,
so
you get a lot of guys.
The angle he's working here is trying to get more government money.
Well, when he did his last video, Burrito Mike looked a little stressed and depressed. You know what I mean? When you the way he was talking and stuff. So I'm not really sure why he's depressed or stressed. Usually people that are stressed and depressed are, they usually have financial problems. Maybe, who knows? But he did say he found a good job. The benefits are good and the retirement's good, but nobody works till retirement anyway nowadays in his generation. So I'm not sure. I mean, he's not going to be there 20. I mean, I don't think he's ever worked anywhere more than 3 months or 6 months. So usually when you get retirement, you got to put in 20 years. Burrito Mike is not the kind of guy that's going to stay somewhere for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do feel he's stressed. I mean, he seemed really happy when he was in Dumaguete, till he got the shit slapped out of him and got chased out of town.
Well, again, people keep saying that he got jumped. I myself, James Cardanian Bond, and you can call me Jimmy Brevis, okay, for short. I'm really having a hard time believing his story now. I did think about it. Why would he fake a story like that? Because he'd be looking like a fool. He got beat up by some 5'6", pudgy, fat Filipino, and he's like 5'10". He pumps iron, shoots up steroids. Why would he make up a story like that? But then, again, everybody carries cell phones. I've been through this before with everybody. And, you would think that he would have pulled out a cell phone and videoed the guy, whoever jumped him or whatever. Or his wife could have pulled out her cell phone and videoed while he's fighting the dude or something. But it's so convenient that she wasn't with him. So again, the story to me doesn't match up. But again, that's what he's got everybody believing. Do you believe that he got jumped in Dumaguete?
No, he probably just got punked more than anything. Probably guy walked right up to him, slapped him around, and he ran, checked out of his little Airbnb rented room, and fled. I mean, that would stress him out. And I understand that he's a little scared to go back to Dumaguete. I did call him out, and he deleted the comment, unfortunately. But if he,
Oh, he
if you ever,
deleted your comment.
yeah, if he ever makes it back, check in with me. I'll give you a pass to come to the Philippines. Just check in with me,
Well,
and
you should be careful now because he says he's getting back into the gym and he's going to be pumping up. Now, we did watch one of his boxing videos, you know, when he was spending some time here. I can't remember if there was the time before when he came. He's pretty slow. He's a big boy, but he seems very slow in his footwork. But maybe, you know, again, he's trying to lose some weight. He's going to pump up. Maybe that's why he's in the gym. Maybe he's scared he's going to get jumped again. Now, again, I'm very skeptical about the story he's given, but some people believe him. I just don't believe him. But again, you know, everybody has their own opinion of what happened. I'm going to look in the chat, see what somebody's saying. Let's see. Hang in. Let's see. Somebody, Illuminar Di Magico James, are you pro Frank? And Brevis, I'll talk a little bit about what I talked about Frank. No, I'm not really pro Frank here. We're neutral on everybody. Illuminar. Dirty White Boy says MJ did say he owned property in Michigan about 3 years ago. We're gonna be talking about that. Dirty White Boy, you can't live on $22,000 a year in the U.S. unless you live with your parents. And I'm gonna have to agree with that. Wouldn't you agree with that, Brevis?
Well, he lives on less than 22,000 a year because if he made more than that, he wouldn't need a sponsor. He could bring his girl over here.
Well, you know, think about it. He did mention in his latest video that let's see, one job don't cut it. Okay, he says he works for a living. He says he's got a few jobs, and he did say that he's a hardworking taxpayer. Now, wait a minute. Hasn't he just spent, like, out of the year 2022, hasn't he spent like at least 4 to 5 months in the Philippines? And then prior to that, if he did work the rest of the year, that would only be working 7 months a year, which I don't believe he worked 7 months a year when he was in California. So how could he be calling himself a hardworking taxpayer? I'm a little confused on that.
Well, I mean, whatever helps him sleep at night. No, he's definitely not a taxpayer. The amount of money he's put in versus taken out is probably 10 to 1. So, and it'll probably just get worse. I'm not sure why he moved to Michigan. He should have stayed in California, you know, and just sucked the system a little more, a little easier in California. But yeah, his parents probably said, hey, you know what? You're getting married. You got to, you know, get on your own 2 feet. And make it happen. He won't tell you where he works. I promise you that. You'll never see a video of him working, or you'll never know where he works. It's just kind of, I'm working hard, and probably, I don't know. I mean, maybe mowing lawns for his brother's property, and you know, little stuff around the house.
No, it sounds like he got a job. Now, look, one thing he said is one job don't cut it. So whatever job he got, and if say he's working 40 hours, it ain't cutting it. So he's probably, and again, I lived in that area. I went to college there. I worked there for a year after college before I left. Now, this is 40 years ago. I'm sure wages went up a little, but I would venture to say that he's probably making, first of all, you ain't going to make any money working for somebody in that town. It's a dead end town. I'd say he's probably making $15 an hour. And that's like that'd be really 15, 16, that's on the high end. And, you know, again, that
great benefits, though.
Because what skills does he have to make more money than that per hour?
Well, he said he's got great benefits, too. So, I mean, I think that's what he's counting on is some sort of disability plan or workers' compensation in the future. That's the most likely outcome for him.
Yeah, and he did mention that you got to have a job and a hustle, meaning like a second job maybe or something like that. Now, look, I myself, Jimmy Cardanian Bond, when I was in Chicago, for the last 20 years, I worked for for a gentleman that owned a bunch of rental properties, and I helped him run his properties. Now, I rarely ever worked a 40-hour week. In 19 years, I think I worked 40 hours maybe a dozen times in 19 years. So on the average, I work 32 hours a week, and I was able to bank money, bank a bunch of money, and support my wife and everything. So, but again, I had backed up skills that my job required to make that kind of money. I mean, I was making about 35 bucks an hour, you know, but yeah, 15 bucks an hour, you ain't gonna make it. Even as a single guy, yeah, I mean, you're okay, but again, I think that he's bringing his spouse over to pick up the slack so that he doesn't have to work a second job, and he's going to put her to work right away. What do you think?
Well, I think the whole point of bringing his spouse over is to have kids and get child tax care credits. Like you got to think like a scammer. And scammers, it's pretty much like you want to manipulate the government to get money in every way possible. So, right now he's probably on some food stamp card where he's getting, a couple hundred a month in food stamps. Well, you bring your wife over, now you get 350 a month. All right, now you have a kid, now you get 550 a month in food stamps.
Yeah.
So he probably couldn't find a girl in the U.S. And so bringing, married couples with children definitely qualify for more government aid than a single man. So I think that's his whole plan in the long run, is just to get her over here, have a kid. I don't know, maybe she's got a kid, or maybe she was pregnant when they met, and get her over here, get the kid over here, and get more government money is his plan in the long run.
Well, yeah, and keep one thing in mind. I mean, I still file taxes because we make an income. My wife makes an income here, but the tax credit for a marriage couple is $24,000. So there's an advantage of being married. See, now hopefully he's looking at that. Now I'm not sure if Burrito Mike would actually have a tax accountant, because he doesn't work. So people that don't work generally might not even do taxes. I wonder when the last time he did his taxes legally.
Yeah, who knows? Probably never. Probably his parents did it. They probably claimed him. I bet his parents claimed him as a dependent.
Probably. They still probably claim it as independent. Let me look in the chat here. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see. The Shield says, hang on. Let me move up. Hang on 1 second. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can't live on $22,000 a year unless you're in the U.S. with your parents. Yeah, the story makes sense. Dumb and Dumber said. The Shield says, happy days. The market is on fire. My bags are pumping. Yeah, it's doing great. Jay, we're going to get to that in a minute about the crypto Mike. We'll talk a little bit about that. Dumb and Dumber says, pumping iron like Arnold. Yeah, well, hey, he's talking about getting into the gym. But how can you get into the gym and pump iron? Because that's a full-time job if you really want to get your body in shape. If he's working 2 jobs, that's probably why he want to get his wife over to work, so he only has to work 1 job. But what he fails to understand, Brevis, is that his wife's going to be making money and send money back to the Philippines. I don't think he's aware of that yet, but that's going to be a rude awakening for him. What do you think about that?
Yeah, real quick, she'll probably make more money than he does. A lot of these Filipinos come over, they work under the ground caregiver jobs. Pretty big Filipino community in the Chicago area. So she might, once she gets involved with that, and she sees, real American men making real American money, and she's got her visa status settled. I don't know. Good luck on keeping her. She is a very beautiful woman. I'll give her that. Absolutely beautiful. So, tons of guys are going to be going after her. Once maybe she'll go to the dentist.
Yeah,
get her
they'll be after her at your local.
Get those braces on her, she'll look even more beautiful.
Well, look, there'll be guys hitting on her. There'll be guys over there, she could be going down to the local store or something. Guys will be driving by, whistling, hitting on her. So he's going to have to keep a sharp eye out for her, because some dude in the Corvette might pull up or something, flashing some money. And she might say, you know what? Damn, if I go with this dude, I ain't got to work, But she doesn't. She seems to me like she could be a hard worker. She's not lazy. We met her. Nice. Burrito Mike, the first year of a marriage is very important because over 50% of marriages will wind up in divorce within the first year. And if you make it through your first year, then you got to be careful of the 7th year, that 7-year itch. You know, a lot of marriages break up then, so you got to be careful then. But again, you know, these are things that hopefully Burrito Mike has taken in consideration before getting married, but probably doubt it. Probably doesn't even know. But let's go back to the what's in the chat. Dirty White Boy says, "Hi Jay, show your last short on the bar. Looked like good time." Big Kev, Big Kev keeps getting lost. What's he doing here? Dumb and Dumber says, "How could a 5'6" round Filipino slap him around? Let's see, and he does not react. Was he scared or of the Kampa Loompa of his youth?" I don't know what that means. What do you think that means, Revis?
Oompa Loompas were, what was it, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? The little short midgets with the orange faces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Illuminar says, "I think selling burritos in his sideline." Well, maybe he's selling burritos. That's cool. It's a self-employment. I mean, I know a guy that's got a couple of taco trucks. He can make some money. Dumb and Dumber says, "Landscape architect is a good career." Yeah, it's a good way of saying you're cutting grass, you know. But hey, if you got to start out from scratch, like paper routes, although, yeah, they don't even have paper routes anymore, I'm sure. But cutting grass, stuff like that, that's what you got to do, right? I mean, hey, Dirty White Boy says, "Good money in Section 8 housing." Dirty White Boy says, "Filipino restaurants in Detroit." I don't think Burrito Mike would survive in Detroit. It's just too rough for him. He wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it in Detroit. Okay, so do you think that he'll be able to hang on to a job? Because stability seems to be Burrito Mike lacks stability in his life. I'm not sure why he lacks that type of stability. And that's the thing when, you know, people go to college or they get an education, you don't really learn much in college, right? Okay, you get a 4-year degree, you don't really learn much. I mean, that's book smart, but it shows your employer that you stuck with it, and that you can, you know, if somebody brings you into their company, they can train you. You're trainable, and it shows that you're stable, that you're gonna finish something that you start. Do you feel that Burrito Mike can finish or can hang on to a job for any length of time? What do you think?
I doubt it. I mean, what was he, a forklift driver in a warehouse back in California, living with his parents? So I think he's been coddled his whole life, and he's really not used to waking up in the morning and getting to work on time and interacting with coworkers. So I think he's going to just kind of like help his brother out with the property empire. And it's what Dirty White Boy said, good money in Section 8 housing. And once your property is approved to house Section 8 people, you don't really have to worry about them paying rent. The government's paying you rent. Right. Any damage incurred to the property, it's a process, but you basically get reimbursed by the government. So they're probably thinking of a way to get him on Section 8, put him in one of his brother's little duplexes or beaten down shack, and then just keep saying, "Oh, the plumbing's out, and we got to hire a plumber, and double charge for that, and the roof's leaking, and Burrito Mike's gonna fix the roof, and he's gonna charge $1,500 to go up there for a few hours, and government will pay it." Like these people, once they're hooked on the government money, and the government is basically like a parent giving you money, and Burrito Mike's used to living with his parents, getting money from his parents, probably, "Oh, mommy, can I have $20 so I can go get some food?" And here you go, Burrito Mike. So he's probably just looking for a way to continue the scam and continue getting that check. As far as him like having a career, working a long-term job, like let's not even talk about that. That's not happening.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that the mistakes you make when you're young may affect you when you get older. And one of the mistakes that his parents made, and again, Burrito Mike, if you're listening to this, is
He's
I
listening.
mean, hey man, I'm your parents' age, bro. One of the mistakes that your parents made is they didn't boot your ass out when you were 18 years old. Now, he may have went into the military because he did mention in his last video that he can go to the VA and get free medical help over there. Now, does he have some kind of military disability? Now, he was in the Navy. He did mention that before. But I thought it was only go to the VA if you're 100% disabled, the VA will do something for you.
Well, I don't think
really
you're
don't know how to.
I don't think you need 100% disability to go to the VA. His military career, if you want to call it a career, it might have been to get citizenship, like Roberto. I mean, he joined the Coast Guard to get citizenship. I mean, we don't know whether Mike's parents were here legally, and he was pretty much just the anchor baby, came over and never really had citizenship.
He could be.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe his citizenship wasn't really settled, and join up, you get citizenship and do whatever, get his minimum 3 years. And once again, it's another way to get government money. It's kind of fits them really well.
Burrito Mike, if you're listening to this, can you get back with us and let us know what your situation was? If you were a dreamer, you went into the military to get your citizenship. Can you get back to us and let us know, or just let us know in one of your next videos? I think the subscribers would like to know. I mean, look, we're giving you, by basically talking about you, Burrito Mike, we're giving you a shout out. I mean, Nico picked up about 80 subs since I gave him a shout out on a couple of videos I did on that one video I did. Who is Nico's experience? So look, we're trying to help out your channel. And again, inquiring minds want to know. But that would be a good question for you to answer, okay? But I don't think he ever saw any action in the Navy. I mean, he went in through peacetime, I'm sure. So, yeah, that would be nice to know. But, and going back to the real estate thing, he did mention that in a few years, him and his brother are going to buy more real estate. Why would he have to wait a few years? I'm a little confused because he was a Bitcoin guy, and he did mention in his last live stream he's never lost money in crypto. It's there. So if you never lost money in crypto, why do you have to wait a few years to buy real estate? Why not just buy it now? You put the 5% minimum down payment, or maybe 10%, or sometimes you have to put 20% up. But him and his brother half and half. Why can't you just do it now? Buy real estate now. Why would you wait a few years down the road?
Well, my theory on his whole Bitcoin entrepreneur is he never mentioned Bitcoin until it was about 65,000 per Bitcoin. He wasn't. Everybody likes to say, "Oh, I bought it at $200 a Bitcoin back in 2013, and I was just this genius investor and buying Ferraris." And no, he first mentioned it at about $65,000 a coin.
I think so. I think so he bought the top and sell the bottom.
Got some of that COVID unemployment money a couple years ago when everybody was getting those COVID checks. And I read a story that like a lot of these people started getting that COVID check, and these kids just pumped it into Bitcoin and crypto, and pretty much didn't get out. And he's probably bought in around 65,000 a coin. It's around 20,000 a coin, or it's gone up a little bit, 21, 22,000. And whatever.
It's actually 23 almost, unless they made a new high since we talked.
So he's probably technically correct saying that he hasn't lost any money, because it wasn't his money. It was COVID money that he got from the government and pumped in. So maybe he pumped in 10,000 of his COVID unemployment check, and now it's worth 2,500 or 3,000. So that's technically not his money. So he's actually correct saying he hasn't lost any money, because whatever money he gets wasn't his money to begin with.
Well, you know, what's kind of interesting about Burrito Mike, and I like to call him Bitcoin, Mr. Bitcoin. He's making a recommendation not to buy crypto right now when crypto is screaming. I mean, I myself, James Cardanian Bond, was not a believer the first time crypto went up. Now I've decided about back in like late November to buy some crypto, and I'm up about 25% on my crypto right now. And but Burrito Mike is recommending people not to buy crypto for at least another 6 months to a year. And what was interesting, he goes, you guys should buy crypto next year in 2025. So he's a little confused what year we're in, because next year's 2024, because we're in 2023 now. So again, maybe he's going to be buying the top again and selling the bottom. I don't know.
Anybody who's taken financial advice from Burrito Mike needs to get their head checked.
Yeah, look, Burrito Mike's trying to find himself in life, what his calling is. I guess some people would say, what's his calling? I'm trying to figure out what his calling is. Do you have any idea what his calling is?
Scamming the government, getting checks from the government, whether it's disability, food stamps, bringing his wife over here, unemployment. That's his calling. That's what he's been doing his whole life. It's what he knows how to do. So, he's obviously not starving. He's well fed, and
I would say, yeah. I mean, he's got food money for sure. Again, look, if his parents are listening to this, probably not. But if they are, I'm gonna have to say, as a baby boomer like them, their age, they made a mistake. They needed to boot him out when he was 18, or maybe he did go in the military. But then after the military, they should have changed the door locks. They should have maybe moved, not tell him giving a forwarding address. They should have never let him come back home. And that's where the mistake was. What is he doing home? He should have came back maybe for a month or so, got a job, and then moved out right away to get his own place and then move on with his life. Because when you're always living at home, you don't really learn how to pay your bills. You don't have an electric bill. You don't have a water bill. You don't have a rent payment, or you know what I mean. So you don't have to be as organized or as disciplined to pay your bills. You don't even have to learn how to pay bills. I mean, most people that live at home don't know how to pay bills. They don't. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only, but we're here to try to help you, Burrito Mike. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you get your life together. Because look, man, you just got married. If you want to hang on to your wife, because we met his wife, she's got her shit together. If you want to hang on to her, you better get your shit together real fast. Because right now, she doesn't really know you yet. She only sees the tourist Mike. She doesn't see the real Mike, the American, how he lives in the U.S. What do you think about that, Grievous?
Yeah, I'm interested. They should do a lifestyle blog when she gets here in America. Living on a budget and, living in the cold weather with a hardworking husband with a few jobs. He did say he has a few jobs, whether that means 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know. I mean, he didn't say he has a job. He didn't say he has a couple jobs. He says he has a few jobs. So be interesting. I mean, hey, everybody likes to, a good pull yourself up from the bootstrap story, move out of your parents' house, 40 years old, and
I would agree with that.
Bring your beautiful wife over and you start your life together. You start buying properties and, being a landlord. Hey, go for it. I mean, he's already got the YouTube channel. I mean, you shouted out Nico and got him subs. I'm sure we're getting him Burrito Mike subs just by talking about him. So we're doing him a solid.
We're doing you a favor, Burrito Mike, by trying to get some people, we're shouting you out. We're trying to get people to your channel. Maybe you should turn your channel into a family channel and go that route, because your channel's not making any money now. You're stuck at, I don't know, what you got, 500 subs, 600 subs. It ain't making it. It ain't happening. I mean, look at Frank Battaglia's channel. He's got over 4,000 subscribers. Look at Barry Lee Jordan's channel. I think he's got about 4,000 subscribers also. Why is Burrito Mike's channel stumbling or not going anywhere?
Well, I mean, living in his brother's basement alone, what's he really going to vlog about at this point? What content does he have? What does he add to the world? What do people want to hear him say? I mean, at least tell the story how you got ran out of Dumageddon and got the shit slapped out of you. That people like to hear that story.
Well, yeah, I mean that could bring a little excitement to the channel, and technically, Burrito Mike is actually couch surfing right now. There are websites out there where you're traveling and you can sleep on somebody's couch. He's actually couch surfing. That's what he's actually doing in the basement. Look, hopefully Burrito Mike will get it together. It's still going to take quite a few months for his wife to get here, at least 5 or 6 months. Hopefully she's got all the necessary paperwork done on her end. And hopefully Burrito Mike is guiding her on what she needs. Now, I know he's looking at my channel or all my visa videos so he can figure out what she needs on her end. But I think he'll still fuck it up. But, we'll find out. But look, Burrito Mike, we're just trying to help you out here. Another thing I noticed about Burrito Mike, he kisses up to Frank a lot lately. What's going on there? Because Frank came out with a video calling Burrito Mike a wetback. Did you hear that video?
I did, yes.
Wow. Now, I did straighten out Frank prior to you coming on here. I did mention the definition of what a wetback is, and it doesn't really fit Burrito Mike. I don't think so. I think Burrito Mike, if Burrito Mike was born in the United States, he definitely does not fall under that category. Now, if he came across the Rio Grande, then technically Frank is right. But again, it's a derogatory statement. It really shouldn't be used. Frank, shame on you. But again, here we have to go with the free speech. We can't block people and what they say. We don't block anybody. If you use a derogatory statement, it's for entertainment purposes only. So remember, anybody that's listening to this channel, this is entertainment purposes only. If you're too thin-skinned, get the fuck off my live stream. Okay, go ahead, Brevis. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel for the guy. Lost a lot of money in Bitcoin. I've lost a little money in Bitcoin, but it's life. That's just what life is. I'm going to wait for it to go up a little bit, but it's more of a long play for me.
Yeah, it's a long play. It's a long-term play. I didn't invest in Bitcoin the first time up because I didn't believe in it. And what I decided to do is I took a shot here the second time up. So far, I'm up about 25% on my money. And let's see what happens. Now, I could lose it all. They can come out here and pull the plug and everything goes to zero. I doubt that they will do that. But the banks are eyeing on some of this stuff. So, hey, if they pull the plug and I lose what I got invested, it doesn't even hurt me. I just okay, fuck it. Write it off on your taxes and move on. And move on. That's all. It's not a big deal. But some people can't afford to lose money in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got to get his life together, get a job, and he'll be all right.
I think so. Now, the question is, does he have job skills? Is he disciplined to come in on time to his job, to work and make sure that his employer get the full benefit of him working 8 hours, instead of him lollygagging around, drinking coffee, maybe only out of 8 hours, punching in for 8, maybe working 4. Does he have that kind of discipline? That's the question.
Probably not. He's probably not used to waking up and going to work. It's been kind of, work for a few months, quit, go on unemployment, get another job, side hustle. He seems to be entrepreneurial minded with wanting to buy property and be a boss. And he had his little eBay store selling rocks where, you know, he makes $60, $70 a month on selling stuff on eBay, which is good. I mean, that's the American mindset. We're built on entrepreneurs. So that's kind of where he's at. He's probably not the kind of 9 to 5 guy who's gonna, you know, work somewhere for a few years, punch the clock, work his way up into middle management, get raises and bonuses and promotions. So he's
I'm gonna
not.
have to agree with you. Yeah, he's not that kind of guy. But what I don't understand, well, I mean, I do understand when he starts something, he doesn't finish it. For example, he was into the buying the lockers, right? He bought a locker, and then decided not to do that anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 lockers, and decided not to do that. Then he does some crypto. Now he doesn't want to do crypto for a year. Right when the market is starting to scream, he's like, nah, maybe I'll wait another year. And then he gets a job, then he gets hurt on the job. He had the triple hernia, so he quit his job. So, I mean, you got in life, if you want to be successful, when you start something, you got to be able to finish it. You got to finish it. He just can't do it. But maybe it's a point in his life where he finally is waking up, and maybe he'll be able to follow through on what he does in life and finish it and become successful. Hopefully.
Well, a lot of people got into that storage locker thing when they were watching Storage Wars, the TV show, and seeing these guys just buying lockers and turning them out and making thousands of dollars. And, you know, he probably thought that was his new career. He was, you know, he's going to take his COVID unemployment money, start buying storage lockers, flip it. And, you know, he's probably got all that stuff still on his parents' patio in the backyard there. They're probably saying, hey, come on, kid, get this out of here, son. So I don't know concept of buying and selling that.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like he can follow through, like he doesn't have a plan or something. He's got an idea. You know, when you do something, it's an idea. But then you got to have a plan to follow through and execute your idea. But he gets to the idea part, but he loses it when he gets to the execution part. He can't execute. And again, Burrito Mike, we're not saying this in a bad way if you're listening to this. This is just, this is our, you know, it's always hard to look at yourself when you make mistakes. You know what I mean? You can't look at yourself. When people are looking at you, it's easier for them to see your mistake. So we're giving you constructive criticism here. Whether, you know, you believe us or not, that's your choice, you know. But you got to be able to make good decisions in life if you're going to make it in life. But also, you got to be able to listen to the right people, right? You can't be listening to knuckleheads giving you knucklehead decisions. Like if you listen to losers in life and having them give you advice, then you're going to be a loser. If you listen to winners in life and having listened to their advice, then you will be a winner. I mean, that's just common sense. The question is, does he believe in what I just said? I don't know.
Well, I think he's one of those people who knows it all already. He knows better than you. And guys like that, they usually don't listen to people older, more successful, because they already know it all. And, you know, he's proven that he knows it all. He you know, making less than $22,000 a year, having to get a sponsor to bring his wife over here. Just kind of proves that he knows it all already, and he doesn't need our advice. We should probably be listening to him, you know, like property guru.
Well, you know, he did make a statement here. And again, he made a statement. Somebody said something about the ferry. He says, I'm not going the ferry way. I'm going to take the MJ route. And I'm thinking to myself, well, then where are you? Look at you. Where are you at in life? And look at where the ferry's at in life. You know what I mean? So he did make that statement. So again, look at where you're at in life, and then say to yourself, well, damn, I ain't getting anywhere in life. So maybe his way is not the good way, you know? But can he see that? And again, Burrito Mike, if you're listening to this, this is constructive criticism. Don't get offended. This is the kind of criticism that your parents or the people that really care for you should give you. But again, You don't have to believe us. You don't have to believe me. You don't go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. If you keep doing what you're doing, you ain't gonna get nowhere in life, bro. And John, if you're listening to this, is your brother. John's, for those of you guys that are new, it's his brother. John, tough love, brother. Give him about a month or two and he boot him out. All right. Once he gets a job, gets a little money, gets the deposit money and first month's rent, boot him out right away. Don't play around, or else you'll never get him out of your house. Never get him out of that basement. I mean, isn't that good advice, Brevis?
Well, I mean, if they're trying to get into the Section 8 property market in Michigan, then John getting a Section 8 house and putting Burrito Mike into the Section 8 as the tenant, they're kind of double dipping. And so, I mean, keep it in the family there, and don't boot them out. Just put them in one of your Section 8 properties.
Yeah,
once Burrito Mike, he's probably waiting for his wife to get here, so he'll get approved for Section 8. He probably can't get approved as a single man. They say, hey, you're a fit, able man. You should be working. And he's like, nah. I'm gonna bring my wife over here. We're gonna go on Section 8, live at my brother's property, and probably the way they're doing it. Kind of like how Frank's brother is living on his property.
That makes sense. Yeah. That does make sense.
I mean, it's a shame he can't live in the Philippines, because I know he loved it here, and he was talking about how much he loved Dumaguete, and then started running his mouth, got the shit slapped out of him, and fled Dumaguete, and he was really happy there. I mean, I'm sure Burrito Mike, I know you're listening, and Jerry will let you back in. You don't need to be scared of him.
Hey. And look, I want to clarify this for the 10th time. I had nothing to do with this. If there really was something that happened, but they think I'm some kind of Don or something, like I'm with some kind of mafia here or something like that. I'm not sure what kind of movies they've been watching on TV, but nah, I still don't believe something happened to him. But if something did happen to him, what does that say about yourself? Look at that. You're out there, you're a troll, you're showing your face, and there's people that maybe don't like what you're doing to other people. So, yeah, if something happened, then hey, that's on you. Don't blame other people. See, that's the thing in life. That's the difference between myself, James Cardanian Bond, and Burrito Mike is I don't blame others for my mishaps in life, and I rarely ever had any mishaps in life. So, take responsibility of your life. Don't wait for others. Do it yourself. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Brevis?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that needs to be instilled at a young age by your parents. And if they didn't do that, it's not entirely his fault. And once again, like he not taking responsibility for his life, it is what it is. I mean, he's not used to working. He's not homeless. He's not missing meals, and doesn't really earn his own keep. So at age whatever, he's pushing 40 at this point. I don't really see him kind of changing it around. I think instead of just living off his parents, now he's living off his brother, and then he's going to get his wife here and live off somehow whatever government money they can get. And it is what it is. And it's better for people like us that, work and start businesses.
Because, when you're starting life at 40 years old, I mean, you're already at midlife. 40's midlife, basically, almost. So you're really behind the 8 ball, It's really tough, especially nowadays. A lot of the opportunities in the United States are gone. Now there's new opportunities created, obviously, with the economy changing and everything, but he just doesn't have the skills to adapt to the new economy. He really doesn't. Maybe going back to schools, getting some skills, getting a trade. I'm not saying go back to school and get a 4-year degree. 4-year degrees are useless. They're a dime a dozen. But maybe get a trade while his wife is working, supporting him. Maybe he can go to school and get some kind of trade, carpenter or electrician or plumber or something. That's the dudes that are making money. If he really wants to make money, the question is, does he want to put in the work? That's the question.
Well, he did get his forklift driver certificate for that warehouse job he had. But that's more like a 4-hour class than a 4-year degree.
Yeah. You can get a certificate for that. But wasn't he? How did he get that triple hernia? Wasn't he like a delivery guy for like Coca-Cola or some kind of beer company or something like that?
Probably, yeah, who knows? Probably was a scam. Probably just got some doctor and, maybe who knows how he got it, but maybe training for that fight with Barry a few years ago. He was a little too hard.
Uh,
Yeah, but
let me switch over real quick in
get
the.
money.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Let me switch over real quick. Dumb and Dumber says his plan is to get his wife to work so he can live off of her, like he's been doing his family. And then it says Tito Popeye should help him out and offer him to stay in Florida with him. If things don't work out with his brother John up in Michigan, he probably could go to Florida and either, hook up with Popeye. Man, I'm sure Popeye's now he does. Popeye doesn't have. They don't have basements in Florida. I mean, I lived there. I know. So, but Popeye probably's got a spare room for him, or maybe Nico will put him up. And have a spare room for him. But what do you think? You think these guys will help him out, get himself going in life?
He can probably move to Kentucky and be Big Kev's caregiver.
Yeah, that's true. He could go to Kentucky and be Big Kev's caregiver.
Yeah, Big Kev wouldn't have to. Right now, Big Kev's wiping his ass with a rag on a stick. Big Burrito Mike could have a new job. The rag on a stick guy.
Well, you know what? I think, look, I don't know Big Kev's situation. He's getting some kind of disability, I'm sure, because of his head injury. But I think his parent or his aunt probably gets paid by the state for taking care of Big Kev as well. So that's a money-making still scam over there, too. I mean, it's amazing how you meet a lot of people on the internet that are on the government dole. Majority of these people that I'm meeting on the internet are on some kind of form of government money. It's amazing. I would suggest that the government shut everybody off. Just cut them off. Everybody on disability, throw them out there. Half the people on disability are scammers. I got friends of mine that are from the Air Force. They tell me all these stories. And I asked a guy one time, I said, hey, what do you think of the percentage of people that are on disability are scammers? He goes, in the military, it's at least 30%. And in the civilian world, we were talking about that. The civilian world is at least 50%. You know what I mean?
Well,
so, again,
it's disabled,
the amount
though.
of corruption.
You got to agree that Big Kev's disabled.
Say that again?
You've got to agree that Big Kev's disabled. I mean, he can't even wipe his own hands.
No, he is disabled. Yeah, he's got a good reason. Now he's losing weight now. Did you see on his last live stream? I caught a little bit. He stood up and he showed he lost some weight. He still does need at least 100 pounds. He's got to lose at least another 100 pounds, maybe one.
Yeah,
but he's losing weight. He's on the right track.
He's going to have to buy 2 plane tickets to come to the Philippines.
Right. If he went to the Philippines today or went to Colombia, I think they were trying to buy him a ticket to Colombia to get laid or something. He's going to have to buy 2 tickets. Yeah, that's true. But the airlines make you do that nowadays. But Dumb and Dumber says Burrito Mike probably was told by his parents that he and his wife cannot stay at their house, so he had to move to his brother's house. Yeah, that's true. He calls me Don Cardanian. Let's see. Dumb and Dumber says he can join a professional forklift rodeo circuit with that forklift certificate. I didn't know there was a professional forklift rodeo circuit. I didn't know that. It's amazing. Well, look, let's move a little further down. One of the things that Burrito Mike also said is that when he was in the U.S., he was a real player. He was knocking them out in America, meaning he was just hitting these women left and right, hitting it and getting it. But if he was hitting a lot of these girls, he was hooking up with a lot of these girls, I would suggest that he gets an STD checkup test. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what he was hitting. What he was hitting. Uh, what do you
Oh, I
think of
couldn't
that?
imagine. Those must have been beautiful girls that he was with. I can only imagine some of those. Oh God. Yeah. I
Girls
mean,
from the barrio, you know.
he the lies he tells himself from he's a taxpayer, he's a Bitcoin genius, been around since 2013 buying Bitcoin. He's a ladies' man, got all these girls in America. Like I don't know. I mean, geez. At least he's got a good imagination. That's important.
Well, yeah, I mean, guys with good imaginations, if you can put that to use somehow and make some money from it, maybe he should write a book or something. That you can make some money writing a book. It's not easy to it's easy to publish a book nowadays with the internet. They do all that shit for you. All you gotta do is sit there and write. Well, I don't know, maybe not. You might have to hire somebody to take dictations or something like that. I don't know. Look, Burrito Mike, if you're listening to this, we like you. We're just keeping, we want to bring these updates about your life to our subscribers here. We're trying to grow a channel. And hey, guys, can you guys subscribe to this channel? Please give me a thumbs up. We only got 12 thumbs up so far. Not bad, but we'd appreciate it. And we'll, for those of you guys that want to keep up with the channel and see what's going on, I want to go back. So we're kind of done with Burrito Mike here. Any last comments on Burrito Mike? And then I want to go back and talk a little bit about a couple of things about Frank that you may have some input on. Any final piece of advice for Burrito Mike that you could give him? Good advice, Brevis?
Yeah, you're on the right track. You got out of your parents' house. Now you're in your brother's house. My advice would just, when you're filling out those government forms to get the disability and unemployment, make sure you check all the boxes and everything correctly, because otherwise they're going to send it back to you and it's going to take longer for them to process. So make the government bureaucrat's job easier to process your forms for welfare and Section 8 and food stamps. So my advice would just be thoroughly sit down and fill out those forms. Don't just go through it, dot your I's, cross your T's, and, get that money.
Yeah. It's the same with the immigration paperwork that he's filling out. Now, he's doing this on his own, which is good, because I've even said this in the past in my videos. All you need is a high school education, and you can basically, if you just know how to read and write English, you can do this immigration paperwork yourself. Now, do you think he's finished high school? Do you think he's got a high school degree, or do you think he got a GED?
I'd put him in the GED category for sure.
You would? Okay. All right. Again, we're just speculating. Now, look, more power to him. If he can do the paperwork, like you said, dot your I's, cross your T's, because the immigration paperwork, you got one mistake, it puts you back about 3 weeks to a month. By the time they send it back, the paperwork to you, and you send it back to them, it puts you back. So again, you can't make any mistakes. Take your time, Burrito Mike. Make sure you understand.
There's a guy in Valencia I heard that would probably offer him free advice and help. He runs a YouTube channel, so hit him up. Maybe he'll help you out.
Yeah. And who is that? Who is that guy in Valencia? Do you know?
I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, he runs a YouTube
that's
channel.
Me, James Gardanian Bond. Yes, that's me. I'm sorry, I forgot. No, I would have prior to his last video, but when he made that statement that he doesn't follow the ferry route, he follows the MJ route, I would have to turn him down. If he came to me and asked me for help, I'd have to turn him down. I got a little offended, but then, again, not a big deal. And you know what? I would have to turn him down because sometimes, in life you have to do tough love. I came from a family of tough love, right? Even though Burrito Mike's not my son or anything like that, and I definitely don't feel like his dad, I would have to treat him like that, like give him tough love and let him make his mistakes and learn from his mistakes. And I think that's where he lacks. Every time he's made a mistake, nobody taught him, or he didn't really know what his mistake was. so he couldn't fix. You know what I'm saying? You don't learn. You got to learn from tough love. He just could. He didn't learn from his mistakes. Sometimes certain guys, you have to point out to the mistake to them for them to learn. I myself was fortunate enough to learn from my mistakes, but maybe there are other guys out there that just can't. They can't learn from their mistake. They'll make the same mistake over and over again. So again, like I say, tough love is very important in life if you want to become successful in life. Let's see. There was one more thing I wanted to say. I think that's it. So hopefully, Burrito Mike will be a productive taxpayer in the U.S. society here, in the U.S. economy. He will work hard, pay his taxes, and help us retirees, retire on our Social Security pension and stuff. But I mean, it's only fair. But look, I want to shift over to Frank real quick. And what, Frank, did you see the video where he was oogling at a barista at a Santa Fe festival? Did you see that video?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So then you were right, people, because there were a lot of people that didn't believe that he was oogling at your girlfriend, and so hey, that proves it right there.
Yeah, it was, and right in front of Gilda, he did it again, which is the creepy part. Like, I mean, Gilda has been mentally defeated by Frank. She's just given up, and just her family's probably saying, just stay with him, like let him finish building the house. And he just, I don't know. I guess he's dialed down his prescriptions, whatever pills he was taking before, and got on a new regimen. Because I used to listen to his shows, and then there was a couple weeks there where he was just like slurring his speech, speaking really slow, and I would put the playback on like 1.5 to get it going faster, because it was just so ridiculous listening to him talk so slow, and it was like no difference at 1.5 versus the Frank before. But he's back to his old self. I just want to congratulate Barry Lee Jordan for his victory over Frank. That was a smashing victory. We all were rooting for you, Barry, and congratulations. Kind of won by default due to incompetence of Frank's lawyer. I don't know what's going on, whether Frank's lawyer is just an idiot or he's milking Frank for more money, saying, oh, we're going to refile this, we're going to make a copy of this USB drive, and we're going to do this, and we're going to, I don't know. So it's either the guy's a scammer or an idiot. Either way, I'm not sure I'd want him as my lawyer, but good luck to Frank going forward.
He's getting milked. I don't really follow either one of these guys about this case. Is the case over with?
So it was dismissed without prejudice. So that means that they didn't even really look at the merits of the case. It looks like, I mean, I'm not a legal expert, but it looks like Gilda's affidavit was ruled invalid because of her involvement being Frank's live-in partner. But I don't think it's, essentially, like, to refile it, you're going to have to get the prosecutor to reverse their decision. And that's going to be tough for a couple reasons. One, they don't give a damn about a foreigner talking shit about another foreigner on YouTube. Like, that's not, like, almost, it's out of their jurisdiction. But I mean, they could take the case, but they're not going to take that case. And two, for the prosecutor to reverse his decision, you almost got to, it's like the prosecutor admitting he was wrong. And what I know about Filipinos, especially Filipinos in positions of power in the government, they don't like to admit they're wrong. And if they do, it takes years and years to happen. So I do think Frank's going to refile. I think he's going to pay his lawyer another, 100 grand, 80 grand, and refile it. It's going to get dismissed again, or it might get kicked down the road. And it's, 6 months from now, Frank's still talking about it. But it is what it is. Like, yeah, Barry won. Congratulations, Barry. Round of applause to you. And
now, I would say, Frank, let her go. Let her go, Frank. Let her go. Don't throw any more money into that money pit. Now, the lawsuit between Fazio and Frank, they came to an agreement. They both dropped it, right? It's dropped, right?
I don't think so. I think the I think Fazio refiled it or was talking about refiling it. Initially, it was dismissed because of the whole no face, no case thing. And I think Frank had to go to Bohol for a mediation with the judge and some clerk of the court. And the guy basically just laughed at Fazio. It was just like Fazio just stream of consciousness on a rant, and the court mediator just pretty much dismissed it out of hand. Frank said, "Oh, that's not me. That's not my voice." And no face, no case. It's a done deal. I think Fazio refiled it or brought a new charge, and it was dismissed outright. So Frank won his case against Fazio. Barry won his case against Frank. Looks like Fazio and Frank, they're a little power couple now. I'm not sure how long that bromance is going to last between them. Fazio's a busy man building a hotel. He doesn't have a lot of time. He's, buying tile, working with foremen. And so I don't know how Fazio has the time to be filing these cases, how busy he is. So with that hotel building, I mean, someone sent me a video of Fazio's hotel building progress. I posted on my channel. So that was interesting. Any day now that hotel's going to be finished. Shoot, hire Burrito Mike, maybe get him over there as a receptionist.
Well, you have a fan in the live stream. Jack Thompson says, "Weird window creeper brevis." Is that the video you're talking about?
Yeah. So, Jack, you are a true beta male. Let's just say that. Fazio was on camera, recorded, saying Jack Thompson is an idiot. A private conversation with someone he was having, and you're still his best buddy, sending him money and helping the hotel getting built. Like, if I heard someone calling me an idiot that I thought was my friend, I'd have words with them. But I'm glad you guys are still friends. Let bygones be bygones. He calls you an idiot, and when he's having a conversation with someone, but that is what it is. Yeah, someone sent me that video, and I posted it on my channel. So Fazio's talking about filing a case against me too, but I think Fazio's already learned no face, no case, and my face isn't in that video. So good luck with that, Fazio. Stick to building your hotel. Don't be filing cases against YouTubers. Build your hotel. You've only got a few years left. Get that hotel built. I know it's really difficult for you to walk around. I met Fazio back in June, I believe. Yeah, I think it was back in June. It was a while back. Felt bad for the guy. I really did. I mean, he's not too mobile. That leg, it's not looking good. And he walks really slow, and walking probably about 100-yard walk down to the beach from his house. It took him a while, and we had to make a stop, and I didn't even know if we were going to make it down to the beach. So I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's getting up there in age. He's got a severe infection on his leg. Can't really walk. Living in a very unsanitary shack. Daisy May left him, and now he's saying that he's got an open relationship and he's seeing girls. He did admit that he can't support a girl. He doesn't have the finances for it, which beggars the belief that, well, how is he building a hotel if he can't even support a girl? How's he going to have employees to build a hotel? I'm not sure. I wish him the best of luck. When I met Fazio, I always wondered, hey, is this guy actually building a hotel, or is he just a scammer? Like, what's going on? And I think he's suffering from acute mental issues. Most mental problems that people have are cumulative, and they build up over time. And just being isolated with no one really to talk to except for Jack Thompson, who apparently he doesn't like and he calls an idiot. And he just goes on these rants on YouTube and truly believes the world is flat. I mean, he really, truly believes that. I mean, at first, I've known some people that mention it, but it's a joke to them. They're just kind of having fun with it. But he believes it. And his mental problems are probably going to get progressively more severe because he is isolated. Like no one, there's no one that he can talk to. All his neighbors, they keep their distance from him. He's got a somewhat of a bad reputation in the neighborhood there. Doesn't really have any foreigner friends. Doesn't really have family that he talks about. So I honestly, I don't really watch his shows too much. It's just, God, I mean, it's just, there's too much going on to sit and watch Fazio's show. But from time to time, I'll key in there, and I think he's just going downhill mentally. So he's only got a couple years left. Enjoy that time. Get Daisy Mae back. Clean your place up. Wash your sheets. Maybe Daisy Mae will come back. You're using her photo as your thumbnail for her and kind of showing her in a provocative manner. Does she know you're doing that? I'm not sure. Like an ex-girlfriend would be too supportive of that, having her picture shown sexually in such a sexual manner. So I'm not sure about Fazio. I'm following the hotel building progress, but I don't see it happening.
And I want to mention this is for entertainment purposes only. This is James Cardanian Bond. Again, entertainment purposes only. I've never met Mr. Fazio. He is an avid diver, and I am a diver myself, so that's good in my book. So it's a good guy. I have, as I always tell people, I am neutral in any of these wars between people. I once said that the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend. Okay? First of all, I don't have any enemies, none that I'm aware of. But even if you're the enemy of my enemy, you could still be my enemy. But anyway, all right, let's move on to the last. There's a couple of more things that I talked about earlier that when you weren't here. Let's see. Okay, we talked about it. Now, do you know the Skinny Berto? He's no longer fat, so I have to call him Skinny Berto. I used to call him Fat Berto. From All Up in the Geek Show, you know that guy?
Yeah, he was threatening to kick my ass too, but damn, you just had a surgery, Roberto. So I don't think you need to be fighting, but I will defend myself if you come here.
What's that
you got there?
Surgery called? Huh?
Fat boy surgery.
What's it called? Well, there's a word for that. I can't remember. I'm
tummy
just having a mental. Huh?
You got a tummy tuck, I think.
It's something like that. When you get your stomach stapled or whatever now they do, or cut some of your stomach out. Look, I think he's a good guy, little misguided, doesn't know much about the Philippines. I did mention earlier that anyone that, especially that's part Filipino, and that may have a Filipino passport, he's an American for sure, but that doesn't know much about the Filipino and he's a Filipino native, should take a test at the airport before being let in, especially if you haven't been in the Philippines for 2-3 years. And that's for Filipino citizens or Filipinos with or Americans that were born in the Philippines. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of a shame to your own country. You should know at least some geography about your country and some other basic knowledge about about the country that you were born in. There should be a test, and right at the airport when you come in, and you should get at least a 70 as a passing grade, or they should just put you right back on the next plane back to your port of origin where you came from. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, Roberto at his core is essentially a racist. He really has got it out for white people.
He hates white people.
He really, and I kind of figured out the reasoning. So his mom was a Subic bar girl, right? And the Subic bar girls, there were different bars. There were bars for the white Navy guys, and then there were bars for the black Navy guys. So his mom worked in one of the bars that serviced the brothers. And, maybe the Samoans, there were probably Samoans in the U.S. Navy working on the ships down below and as cooks and stuff. And so they probably went to those bars too. So he probably, was going up, oh, I'm half American, half Filipino, and well, you're not half white American, and it kind of just led to resentment for him. Um, he joined up in the Coast Guard to get citizenship, and probably had some commanding officer ordering him around, and he didn't like it, so he's got a resentment towards white people. I really Roberto's easy to figure out. He's basically a racist at his core, is what he is, which is a shame because, so it leads to some identity issues where he doesn't really fit in America. He's not Mexican. He's living down in Texas. His name's Roberto. Doesn't speak Spanish. Not really Filipino. Doesn't live here. So he's got a lot of. I think he's got some psychological issues, to tell you the truth. He trolled on YouTube pretty heavily, and he was overweight his whole life. I almost fell out of my seat laughing a few weeks ago. He was on Ricky Drama's chat in his chat, calling Ricky Drama fat boy. Okay, like Roberto calling anybody fat boy is just it's too much. Pot meat kettle. So I'm glad the little fat boy surgery, your tummy tuck, getting your stomach stapled has helped you lose weight. I hope it keeps you healthy. So, he's probably got picked on as a kid, being the fat boy in the class. Got picked on in the Philippines because he's not full Filipino. Picked on.
I think he got when he came from the Philippines to the U.S. probably back in the 70s. When the country was predominantly white, he got probably picked on by a lot of white kids. That's why he hates white people. Now he did offend Pupai when they were on the last live stream when he made a comment towards white people, and Pupai just kind of looks like he got kind of pissed. So, and what was also funny, Pupai made a comment about having yellow fever. Did you know what yellow fever meant? And Roberto did not know what yellow fever meant towards Asians.
Have you seen Roberto's wife?
He thought Asians are called brown.
She's 300 pounds. Roberto's wife is just as big as he is. I mean, that's a big woman. That's a lot of women. So he probably had these repressed desires, identity crisis, and he thought maybe marrying a big fat white woman, well, any white woman, that was just probably the only one that would be with him, was this big 300-pound lady. Pupai is a beta. So, that's why Pupai could be friends with these guys. Like, he's a cuck. He's a beta, for sure. Pupai lost his wife to a black man when she came over here. He left him for a brother. So Pupai, like, I personally, and you've mentioned this too, I think the man's gay. I think he got kicked out of the Navy in the don't ask, don't tell phase. He hasn't really addressed that issue. I know 30 years ago he claims to, I think his wife was also a Subic Bay bar girl that he brought over here. So, Pupai, get to the Philippines, Pupai. It's time, man. It's been 30 years. You haven't gotten laid in 25 years. Come on down, Pupai. Yeah, I'll give you a pass. Check in with me when you get here. I'll take you to the bars.
Pupai, I don't know. Somebody mentioned that Pupai's got a surprise for everybody. He actually might be coming to the Philippines with Nico. Because I think Big E's going to buy everybody tickets to come to the Philippines, and he's probably going to be like their chaperone or some shit, bodyguard. Chaperone / bodyguard. Because Pupai would never come to the Philippines by himself. He just wouldn't. He's not that kind of guy. He does say he's a world traveler, but again, we're talking about a guy that was working when he was in the military. So, for example, if the Navy ships would pull up in Marseille at the port, that whole area back in the 80s and 90s, that used to be all brothels. And, I used to go down and hang out for a drink at bars and shit down there, and used to see the U.S. Navy guys used to come in on shore leave, and they'd be getting all fucked up and drunk, and then the MPs used to just ship them back to the boat and stuff. Pupai probably got like a 2-day pass, jumped onto a bullet train, went to Paris, stood in front of the fucking Eiffel Tower, took a picture of himself, comes back and says he knows everything about France. He's a historian.
I doubt he's been more than 2 miles from his Navy ship. He probably stayed near the port. He didn't get no 2-day pass. He got a 2-hour pass. Walked around the
2
port
hours. That was it. Go get himself
and
some pussy and drink a bunch of beers, man. That was it.
he's a world traveler. He's seen a lot of ports. So
Oh yeah, that's about it. And he calls himself a world traveler. Could you think about it? It doesn't make sense because a world traveler, anybody that travels when they were younger, would still be traveling and would travel even twice as much when they retire. Oh, but wait. Oh, he's still waiting for his third check, isn't he? That Social Security check. That's right. He can't travel until he gets his third check. Maybe this summer he's going to be getting that that Social Security check, that third retirement check. Maybe that's why he can start traveling now.
who do you think lives more in the past, Popeye or Fazio?
Popeye who?
Popeye or Fazio? Who lives more on past glory?
Oh, I would say Popeye for sure. By a mile. By a mile.
Yeah.
You know, and Steve, I'm the kind of guy, look, if you want to live in the past, that's cool, but you're never going to move forward. I don't live in the past. I mean, and I had my glory days. I mean, being a trader on the Florida Chicago Board of Trade, how many people do that? We're like that minor. I did that for over 15 years. I mean, that's just a minority of the world population that are able to work on the Florida Board of Trade as a trader on top of that. And I don't harp on that. I was a trader. I don't even say about that. That was the past. And I could be bragging about that shit, but I don't care. See what I mean?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Change your past.
I've met you a few times. You've never mentioned that before.
I don't talk about it because what's it to talk about? It was a job. I made some money and I moved on with my life. I mean, so people that are stuck in the past, yeah, there's something they can't. There's something wrong with them. They just can't move forward anymore. They're done. That's it. Life is over for them. That's it. You know. So my best advice to anyone is don't get stuck in the past. You can't change it. It's already done. It's over with. It's finished.
Well, people that get stuck in the past are also usually people that didn't accomplish a lot in life and are a little bit bitter, getting in older age. So it's a trait of those people. So it's a shame. Yeah. I mean, Popeye really should come to the Philippines. He truly should. And I'd buy Popeye, if you make it here, look me up. I'll buy you your first beer. That's a promise.
Really? Dude, he might not come out of the hotel room without a bodyguard, dude. I'm serious. That's the kind of guy Popeye. He's not that kind of guy that's adventurous. I just don't see it. Even though, yeah. They sell you that dream. Join the military. Get to see the world. That's all bullshit. That's just advertisement to get you to fucking sign up. But that's all bullshit. So I don't know if Popeye's got it in him. Not at this stage in his life. You know, he's kind of set with what he's doing and, you know, sitting on the couch with his lap dog watching NFL football. But football season's almost over. So now he's going to be doing his Popeye shorts. That'll keep him busy for a while.
Popeye, you know you're listening. Hey, come on the show. Popeye, come on the show.
Is he here? Where's he at? No, he's not there.
He's listening. He's listening.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening. Burrito Mike's listening. A bunch of these other motherfuckers. Alan Fry is listening. You know Alan Fry is listening. You know Alan Fry is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Alan Fry is taking notes. Oh, man. Hey, and the last thing I want to talk about before we get off, just a quick brief on the Puerto Rican Playboy, Nico's experience. Look, nice guy. I'm starting to like this guy. I think he's kind of wising up on these clowns. He's getting laid. He was oogling at some girls, some street girls now. He was sitting at an outdoor taco restaurant, and he said a couple of girls bought him a dinner or something, which it's hard to believe. I don't believe it. But he was, he had a couple of girls in these shorts that he was doing. They were trying to get some money from him. But look, I got to give it to him. He's out there trying to hit it and quit it, Nico. Hit it and quit it. And I would tell anybody, stop nitpicking Nico. Don't nitpick him. Leave him alone. He's got his shit together. He's getting his shit together. He's getting laid more than what these other people are doing. And he's trying to stay off of YouTube. When the pussy's out there, you know he's not on YouTube. But if he ain't getting none, then yeah, he's going to be on YouTube. But he's all right. I'm starting to like the guy. You know, I'm starting to like him. Just like, look,
Yeah.
I get along with all ethnic, people, everybody. I mean, I've been accustomed to being around the Mexican population when I was younger, the Puerto Rican population, black, white, Asians. Not as many Asians, but I always have that. I always liked Asian women when I was younger. It just wasn't the thing back then, you know, in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. But hey, I lived in a multicultural neighborhood. You know, I like a lot of different cultures. I can hang with a lot of different cultures. And I'm starting to like Nico, contrary to what other people say. Nico, keep doing what you're doing. Hit it and quit it. But please make sure you're using protection.
Yeah, and he seems happy out there. He's getting laid. He seems happy out there. I know he went. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I think he's happy out there in Colombia. If he's getting laid, more power to him. I'd be happy to meet him here in the Philippines, but I mean, if he's getting laid in Colombia, he should stay there because he went 2 months here in the Philippines, didn't get laid as a single man. Maybe just really unlucky. That's a shame, but I don't know.
I give him that.
Yeah. I mean, Filipinos, you know, they're kind of hard to get to. I mean, some guys they got to shack up with a Filipina that's married with 8 kids. You know, they're not a dime a dozen out here. So, I'm happy for them.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say more power to him. I hope he gets laid when he comes to the Philippines. Nico, you won't need a bodyguard. Don't worry, everything's cool. I'm not sure if we still believe that MJ story, but look, if you come to Dumaguete, I'll make sure that nobody hurts you or anything like that. If you need a bodyguard, let me know. Okay, we'll get you somebody. A couple of Filipinos, big Filipino dudes, maybe in a couple of PNPs or something like that. It might only cost you. I'll pay for the shit. Maybe 1,000 peso each. We'll get you a bodyguard if you're afraid to come to Dumaguete. Okay.
Yeah, the bodyguards could escort him to the salon and get his nails done, and you know he'll be safe. He'll be safe.
Hair braided. Yeah. Look, I mean, yeah. But you'll have to rent your own car because I'm not going to do that. You got to rent your own car or a scooter or something like that. But yeah, and there's places here where you can get your hair braided, and you know there's salons here, a lot of salons here, no problem. So that'd be all right. Any last parting words, Rivas? This was a good interview then.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that you see here in my condo, the refrigerator is on. I have my refrigerator on, and I've got the air conditioner on at the same time. See, I've got the air conditioner running. It's on.
Oh, okay.
And my refrigerator's on. And I didn't have to go unplug things to make the electrical work.
Wait a minute. Are you insinuating that somebody didn't have their power on or didn't have the refrigerators on or anything like that? What are you insinuating, Brevis?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that in my place, the power electrical works just fine. So, and I wish everybody could live like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring this show to an end. It's been good. Everybody that's in the chat, let's see. That's you know who Lucy Cyber Psycho is? That's King of Clowns. He says Brevis has monkeypox. I'm not sure what that means. Everybody that came hey, if I can get a couple of more thumbs up, I'd appreciate it, guys. If you guys can subscribe, that's great. Look, this is for entertainment purposes only. We're here to have fun. Don't take it serious. If you take this shit serious, then don't even bother coming. to this channel. Just go to a feel good channel. This is not a feel good channel, but we don't go overboard here. We go easy on people. We're just having fun. Hey, Brivas, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Thanks a lot, Brivas. Appreciate it, brother.
See you later.
Take care.